Hello there, Wipper here, and today I'm going to be showing you a mod called the Weather mod, and this mod is actually an updated version of the original Tornadoes mod, which you've probably all seen before, but this new version adds new kinds of weather, as well as localized weather systems. So say you're on a multiplayer server, someone on one side of the map could have totally different weather to what you've got on another side of the map. It's pretty awesome, and there's also a new particle-based cloud system, which you can probably see at the moment. Don't worry though, this mod still has the crazy destructive tornadoes, in which you've come to know and love in the previous versions, and these have actually been much improved in this new version. And there's also new cyclones and water spouts that have been added as well. But by the way guys, if you could shoot for 1,000 likes for this epic mod, that would be incredible. I know it's a bit of a stretch goal, but I'm sure you guys can do it. But without further ado, let's jump straight into this mod showcase. So, first up, I think I'm going to give you a better look at the new clouds that this mod adds into the game. So you can see gone are the boring, blocky, old Minecraft clouds, and in with the new particle-based clouds. You can see if I just stand still, and if you watch the clouds for a moment, let me just get rid of my HUD, you can see that the clouds are slowly moving, the particles are just merging together, creating denser bits of cloud and then really light bits of cloud, and you can see the sun through the clouds, and it's pretty epic. I mean, look at these particle-based clouds, they're just awesome. It's even like you're just sitting outside in real life looking up at the clouds. It's that realistic. I just love these. And when storms form, the clouds get darker and it just looks pretty epic overall. So yeah, those are the new kinds of clouds, and you can fly through them as usual, but that's just going to take me for ages to get all the way up there, because I think it's 200 blocks up that these clouds form at. But yeah, so I think I'm going to start off this mod showcase by showing you the new blocks that you can use to monitor the weather and see how fast the wind is, and also you can even spawn weather with some of these blocks and stop weather from spawning and stuff like that. So the first thing I'm going to show you is this new forecast block, and this pretty much just gives you a map of all the current active weather systems in your world. So say you've got like a rainstorm that's spawned, you're going to get some rain particles like showing up on this map with a little green line, and it shows where the rainstorm is in relation to this weather forecast block, and I'll show you that later. But this thing, if you want to craft it, is crafted using 4 redstone, 4 iron ingots, and then a compass in the center, and you place it down and it looks pretty epic. You do need quite a large area for this to function in though. So yeah, that's the first block. But if we move over here, we've got some pretty awesome looking blocks. This is a wind vane. I'm sure you've seen these in real life. We've got a nice chicken there above the arrow, and it points in the direction that the wind is blowing. So in this case, the wind is going from south to north, so it's blowing in a northerly direction. And yeah, the chicken is pointing me that way, which is pretty epic. So this will move when the wind direction changes, and it's got a pretty sweet animation to it. It just spins around. It's a shame I can't really show you that now, but oh, look at that. We've got some darker clouds forming over there. We might be in luck. We might get storm forming. But yeah, you can see this is going to spin around when the wind changes direction. And then over here, I think we've got an anemometer. I don't know how to say that. I think it's an anemometer. But yeah, this just tracks the wind speed. So obviously, as the wind increases in velocity, this is going to spin around a little bit faster, and in tornadoes this spins around like a maniac. It's crazy. It looks like it's going to take off or something, but currently there's no wind, but you'll see this spinning around later on when I actually spawn in a weather system. So yeah, those are those 2 blocks, and we've also got these other 2 blocks in my inventory at the moment. We've got a weather machine and a weather deflector. Now let's start off with the weather machine, and this is crafted using 4 redstone, a diamond in the center, and then 4 iron ingots. And when you place this down, it instantly spawns a weather system. So if I place this down now, it's going to suddenly start raining, I'm presuming. Is it going to start raining? Yeah, there we go. We've got loads of rain, and I need to turn my Minecraft sounds down because that is really loud, those rain effects. And look at that. So it's going to start raining as soon as you place this down, and if you destroy it, it's going to stop raining. But you can also place this down and cycle between the weather, so I can set it to lightning and stuff like that, but I'm not going to show you anymore because that would spoil later on in this mod showcase. But there's also a weather deflector, which pretty much does the opposite to this weather machine. It just prevents any kind of weather spawning in the particular area. I think it works in about 16 chunk radius, so you're not going to get any storms being produced in that range around this weather deflector. But it's crafted using a weather machine in the center, and then 4 redstone, and then 4 iron ingots. And then over here we have the tornado siren and the tornado sensor, but I'm not going to be showing you them now because we'll get onto the tornadoes and cyclones and hurricane stuff later on. I've got to like leave the best till last, you realise that. It just always has to be the case, although there's some pretty epic stuff earlier on. But yeah, so those are all the blocks that this mod adds, and I didn't show you how to craft these 2 because they don't currently have crafting recipes. I'm pressing R on them and nothing happens, so yeah, sorry about that, but maybe in the future I will be able to show you these crafting recipes, but for the moment, sadly not implemented yet. So yeah, what I'm going to do for this mod showcase is I'm just going to spawn in each of the different kinds of weather, one by one, showing you what they look like. So let's just start off with the rain. And there's actually a special command that this mod adds, which is /weather2, and then storm, and then create, and then the type of storm. So I'm going to create a rainstorm just to start off with, because this mod also adds new rain particle effects, which are actually impacted by wind speed. So if the wind speed increases, these rain particles will be blown slightly to the left or right, depending on the wind direction, and it looked pretty epic. And you can see there, up there, the clouds have got a lot darker, as you can see, and they're layered, and it just looks pretty epic. I mean, I could be, in real life, recording the sky at the moment. It just looks that realistic. It's pretty awesome. Oh, and by the way, guys, if you want to kill a storm and stop it raining, all you have to do is type /weather2 and then storm and then kill all. And this will end all active storm systems. So you can see it stopped raining now, the clouds are going to start dispersing, and we should have a lovely clear day eventually. So yeah, that's how you can actually end storms. But now I'm going to move on to the next kind of storm, which is the hailstorm. So we're just going to go storm create. I should probably copy and paste this so I can easily type it again. So there we go. Let's just type that. And what we're going to do is we're going to spawn a hailstorm. Oh, look at this. And pretty much what we've got going on here is we've got some little miniature rendered ice blocks which are falling from the sky to simulate hail. And look how dark that cloud is. And you can see it circulating up there. And the cool thing about this hail is the hailstones come in different sizes. They can be really big and they can be tiny as well. And yeah, look how cool this looks. It's about to go to night time, so I better set it to dawn again. Otherwise you won't be able to see a thing. It's going to be so dark. But the intensity of the hail also does increase over time. So hopefully in a bit we're going to see like this huge mass of hailstones fall from the sky as the intensity increases. Oh, there we go. Look at this. Holy crap. How many hailstones? This is ridiculous. Wow. And one bad thing about this hail though is it does hurt you. So if I was to swap into survival mode now, these hailstones would do damage to me. And you can see some of the villagers turning red as they're getting ticks of damage from these hailstones hitting them really hard on the head. I mean, think how fast these things must be going. But look at this. I've always wanted hail like this in Minecraft, and finally, thanks to this mod, we've got some lovely hailstones. Ah, look at that. It's just like some kind of apocalyptic scene. We've just got really dark grey clouds and loads of hailstones falling from the sky, and all the mobs are dying. It must hurt so much. And if I swap into survival mode just for a bit, let me just swap into survival here and see if I get damaged by this hail. I really should do though. Look how big these things are. They're humongous, and you can see they do come in different sizes, and it's really damaging. Come on, I want to see myself. Oh, look at that, 1.5 hearts gone. Wow, wait a minute. Does that sound like wind? I think it is. Don't tell me we're going to get a tornado spawning at the moment. That would be really bad. Really inconvenient. Yes, it looks like it's going to be a tornado. I'm going to quickly kill the storm because I don't want to show you the tornado yet. We're about to get a tornado spawning. I don't want to do it in that order because I'll wreck this town before I even get to show you any of the other features. So next up, what have I done? Yeah, the windstorm. So if I just create a windstorm now, this is pretty much just like rain, and lightning of course, but it does come with really strong wind. So what you're going to see is particles being blown along the ground. You can see there, as soon as the rain particles are formed, the wind takes them away and blows them off into the distance, and you really get a sense of speed coming from the wind. You can see all of the particles are just getting blown everywhere. The rain is slightly going sideways. You might be able to see that. I'm not sure if you can. Might as well hide my HUD again. And look how fast this anemometer is going round. Oh, that is so quick. I'm just going to go back into creative though, so I'm not affected by this. But look at that. Whoa, that is going so fast. And that's not even in the middle of a tornado. And yeah, the wind in this case is actually now going northwest, and it's shaking. The wind is so powerful that the arrow is shaking due to the power and velocity of this wind. This is just epic. And I haven't actually got a chance to show you this forecaster yet, but you can see there I've got a lightning strike symbol, and then the orange line showing me the location of the storm, which is directly above me. That looks quite accurate. And yeah, and when you've got a rainstorm, there's going to be like rain particles above the orange line, and that's pretty much how you use this forecasting tool. So, now I'm going to move on to the thing you've probably all been waiting for. Yeah, it's tornado time. I love tornadoes. So yeah, what we're going to do is we're going to spawn down an F1 tornado. They range in size from F1 to F5, F1 being the smallest with the smallest radius, like the destruction radius, and then F5 being the biggest, which like stretches out for like 200 blocks. It's a huge thing. So I'm just going to contrast them. So we're going to start off by spawning an F1 tornado. And you can see here I've got my disaster pigs all ready and waiting for them to witness their next disaster, because of course disaster pigs are always at disasters. So yeah, hello there, disaster pig. You're not going to escape unscathed this time though, pig. You're going to be sucked up into the vortex of the tornado and then dropped from like 1,000 feet, and that's going to hurt a bit, isn't it? You're like going to get your legs compressed into your body. Wow, that's a bit graphic. And what are these villagers doing? What are you doing? You're just, oh my god, I probably shouldn't have walked in on that. That was a bit peculiar. But anyway, you're going to get sucked up into a tornado now. So we're just going to type /weather2, then storm, then create, and then we want an F1 tornado. And look at that, they just got sucked straight up into the vortex. Oh, look at this thing. There's so many particles everywhere. I can't see a damn thing. And you can see it's sucking up all of the blocks from the villagers' houses. Their poor houses have been decimated. Look at that, it's just stripped off all of their roofs, all of their walls, and it does only pick up selected blocks. And look at that thing, you can just see mobs flying everywhere in it. It's just incredible. They're just swirling around in the circular motion of the clouds, and this thing is so much better than the old tornadoes. In the old tornado mod, these particles look a lot better. But look at this thing, and what it's doing is it's stripping off the grass and leaving dirt behind, because of course it's not really going to be picking up dirt in real life. Normally it just picks up the grass on top of the dirt and then leaves the dirt behind. So yeah, it's much more realistic in that aspect. But look at this thing, you can see the destruction path as it moves all around the world. But as I was saying at the start, it only picks up certain blocks, so you can see it's stripped off the gravel pathways, and it's also picked up loads of wooden blocks, but it hasn't picked up the cobblestone because of course that's a lot stronger and more rigid, so it's not going to be able to pick it up. Now I do realise I just did the test with the tornado, the F1 tornado, in creative mode, and I'm presuming you want to know what happens if one hits you when you're in survival mode if you're that unlucky. So I'm just going to spawn down another F1 tornado, and we're in survival mode, and you can probably guess what's going to happen. I'm going to get sucked up, but I just want to fly. I can dream. Look at this. I'm getting flung up into the air. Wow, this is amazing. I'm now at the top of the tornado. It's really eerie, look. The sounds get quieter, and there's just like a ring of mobs there. That's pretty epic. And no, am I going to die? Oh my, yep, that was just deadly. I just got sucked straight up, and even when I respawn, I'm still getting affected by this massive tornado. And I'm just going to fly over here. I'm in survival, and I'm just moving wherever this tornado happens to blow me along with it. Wow, I'm getting hit by blocks. Ouch, that hurts. Oh, I'm probably going to end up dying in this tornado by blocks, not by full damage. Oh, slammed towards the ground. Oh, no full damage that time. Oh, this is pretty fun. This is like a roller coaster. I'm inside of a tornado getting blown around everywhere. Oh, that was a nice soft landing in the water. But yeah, I hope that answers your question. What happens if you're inside of a tornado? It's not very pleasant, but it's quite fun to be inside of one, but it's still not very pleasant. And you can see the mobs flying around everywhere. Oh, pretty epic. But now I'm going to go and do what I originally intended to do, and that is show you the contrast between an F1 and an F5 tornado. So here we are, I've just spawned an F5 tornado, and instantly you can probably see that it's a lot bigger than an F1 tornado. You can see from side to side, it's probably about 200 blocks wide. It's humongous, and all of the grass in this massive area is being ripped up, and all of the shrubs as well, and the tall grass and stuff like that, and also loads of blocks. It's a very devastating tornado here, and it's just humongous. God, look at this, it looks so epic. And yeah, as I fly up more and more, it just looks more and more epic from like a top view. So I'm going to try and fly above it and see what it looks like from a top-down view. Oh, look at this. You can see the circulation of the clouds really clearly now. And we're just going to go above the clouds now and see what it looks like from the top. Wow, that's really eerie when it gets so quiet up here. You can barely hear a thing. It's so silent. Oh, listen to that. Sounds so cool. But look at this. This is just brilliant. It's like you're flying a plane through a tornado. It's amazing. So yeah, that's an F5 tornado. But now what we're going to do is we're going to head out to the ocean, and I'm just going to kill this storm off like so. But what we're going to do is we're going to head over to the ocean, and I'm going to spawn down a water spout. So yeah, now I'm just going to spawn down a water spout. So we're just going to create a spout, and hopefully we can see what its formation looks like. So look at that, we've got some lovely blue particle effects as it forms, and it appears to be taking the shape of a helix, which makes it a little bit different to the tornadoes, and I love the like blue tinge to it. It makes it look a little bit different as well, and it's sucking up the water from the ocean and bringing it up into the clouds high above in the atmosphere. So yeah, look at that. And I did notice something a bit weird. You can see when it rains, the particles of the splashing animation are like bouncing across the surface of the water. I just thought that looked a bit peculiar, but yeah. So this is what a water spout looks like, and bear in mind it only comes in one intensity, so this is the biggest water spout you're gonna get. So yeah, that's what it looks like. But the final kind of weather in this mod is the cyclone, or tropical cyclone. I'm not really sure what it's exactly called, but all I know is it comes in 5 different categories of intensity. You've got C1 to C5, and I'm just going to go ahead and spawn a C5 because they're pretty similar to tornadoes, but I think they look slightly different with like the arrangement of the particles and the circular motion and stuff, so I'm just going to show you what it looks like. But to make it a little bit different, I've turned it to nighttime because it looks so much more epic at nighttime, these storms do. It looks pretty cool. I mean, look at the contrast of the clouds with the sky. It just looks so much better. So here we go. I'm just going to spawn down a category 5 cyclone, and look at this. Got lightning strikes, all of the mobs being sucked up into the air, and you can really see the speed of the particles as they revolve around. I think pretty much the main difference between the tornado and the cyclones is that the cyclones tend to be bigger in radius. But look at this thing, it's just immense. Wow, it looks so cool at nighttime as well. So yeah, this is what a cyclone looks like, and it's ripping off bits of houses and stuff. I'm just going to go and take shelter in a house and see if I can actually survive inside of a house if I swap into survival mode. So here we are in survival. No, I'm getting pushed out the doorway. Okay, now I'm getting sucked up to the roof. I'm hovering, look. Look at me, I'm hovering. And yeah, it does seem you can stay reasonably safe inside of a house if you're careful. I have noticed that these cyclones don't seem to do as much destruction as the tornadoes do, but they do have quite fast wind speeds. And look at that villager flying off into the distance. Don't know if any of you caught a glimpse of that, but that was pretty funny. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to place down an anemometer and see how fast this thing is. Oh yeah, it's about to take off or something. Look how fast he's revolving around. Oh, I just love this at night time. It's so much better. So yeah, that's what it looks like. This is a cyclone. But yeah guys, that pretty much sums up everything in this mod. It just adds localized weather systems and some pretty awesome new kinds of weather. And what I didn't mention at the start is the weather forms in different areas. So cyclones are going to start by forming over oceans, and then they're going to roll inland. And then really intense thunderstorms are going to spawn when you've got like a high mountain range meeting a plains biome and stuff like that. And it's really realistic on where weather actually spawns and different kinds of weather spawn. So if you've got like a cold biome meeting a hot biome, you're going to get again some really intense thunderstorms and stuff like that, and it's just really realistic, and you're not going to get any clouds in the desert, but that's already in vanilla Minecraft. So if you've enjoyed this mod showcase, please remember to smash that like button and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll be seeing you next time.